In this video, I'd like to talk about the mind, body, brain, and behavior, but also in relation to the nervous system and how there are these inactive aspects of our being through particularly enacted aspects of who we are as individuals that we come to understand more deeply aspects of the mind and defining the mind and its characters, but also the brain and the body and behavior. And we mostly come to understanding the world primarily through an understanding of primarily self first and foremost, or our understanding of us as an individual and our own distinct being in relation to our existence, which characterizes this subjective experience or the subjective experience that is the self. And the self that is processing the world and trying to come to a deeper understanding from nature through this first person perspective rather than pure subjectivity. The first person perspective allows us to understand that, well, we're a little bit more than just this agentic entity. There's qualities to our experience through subjectivity that through the unconscious and implicit processes and things that just occur internally to us, and like what happens to our bodies as we learn through experience and through events that occur in our lives and in a progression and development of ourselves throughout just being in relation to existence and maturing as individuals. We come to understandings of the world involving natural experiences that and also synthetic experiences that are part and parcel of that individual autonomy and volition and engaging in more of these uniquely synthetic and aspects of behavior that involve directly the self and civilization, processes that have more of these synthetic elements and qualities that we recognize and that we're cognizant of, and which we fundamentally can appreciate its synthetic qualities, but also because of that can scaffold upon and develop and develop more of these innovative capabilities that say other species or animals can't. Because we have more of these distinct defining what really makes us human is more of these synthetic processes, this synthetic extension of nature that is fundamentally a natural process, but is itself uniquely synthetic and can be distinguished from these natural categories. And as we come to understanding what characterizes the nature of the self, there are these mind, body, and behavior aspects that we tend to come to first, and we come to an understanding, well, I have a sense of a character of who I present myself to be, and what it's like to be me as an individual, and what it's like to be I, and most importantly, and the qualities and the unique subject matter of our experiences, but also the converging and also highly important object matter, and which connects us all, and which has these universal properties, and which we really have to come to understand and know, and when we do, it tends to be more enriching and one of the most valuable transformative positive things that we can do is to develop a deeper understanding of nature and a true understanding of it, and learn what is true from our direct experiences and engagements with it, but also what's most importantly meaningful to us that's interrelated to that knowledge development process and understanding those nodes, and related to what's natural to our experiences and direct to our experiences. So there's this very intimate interconnection between meaning and knowns that are direct to our experiential processes that occur through us throughout life, in which we tend to this direct encounter with meaning and knowledge that's occurring in relation to these very three basic things that we encounter as typically universal of what characterizes the self, involving the mind, body, and behavior, and those have what are called corporeal but also incorporeal elements, and as well as subliminal, and I would also say sublime elements to them, in which we're tending to focus more on all aspects of nature more openly and holistically and directly, just as it occurs and as it operates in direct relation to the nature of who we are as individuals, and also to the nature of things around us, and nature of being and existence and matter in relation to existence. Because when we come into existence, things start to matter, and there's a fundamental mattering there, right? But at the primary to that, and what tends to be preliminary, there's also meaning and a meaningfulness that tends to be inherent to that mattering, and this relation to these aspects intrinsic to the properties and characteristics and qualities and subject matters of the mind, but also of the body in relation to behavior. And interweaving this all is our deeper psychology and our perceptual processes that tend to bound all these together, and which compose various components, constituents of the self, in which we can also come to understand the nature of the self more deeply through understanding how the mind, body, and behavior are not so easy to define, and how various aspects of them tend to be very interconnected and related, and also distinct and differ from each other quite so much, but also tend to be very, very closely related, and in some ways the same and part of the same process. And as we can understand these links and these relations between various aspects of the mind, body, and behavior, we start to develop deeper knowledge and understandings of ourselves by how we form these constituencies of meaning, combining various aspects of meaning, as well as the direction in which we orient meaning through our own self-directed courses and individual autonomy, but also volition and agency, and how we direct intentionality and a sense of deeper innovativeness to reality. And this innovativeness is highly important, because this is how we tend to synthesize meaning with knowledge, and also with purpose, often through this sense of intent and intentionality that has these linking characters to various mental, behavioral, and bodily constituents that form these constituencies of self-knowledge, of knowledge of nature and our own nature, and through that we can cultivate greater wisdom and understanding through more of these meaningful proper processes and properties that involve thoughtful processing and meaningful processing that's organic and natural to that thoughtful processing. So that's all I wanted to say for that in this video. I'll be talking about more on these topics upcoming, so I hope you enjoyed that.